And we are off. The South Beach Palms versus the Palm Beach Breakers. This is Nate Cobb and Caraballo starting off for the Palms. What we have here are two teams who have a long history together being in the same conference. Now, the Palm Beach Breakers are up one match win, which at the end of the season, it's going to come down to the win and loss record. They got their win against the Venom last match, and the South Beach Palms got their loss against the Brigade last match.
Yeah, and so you're gonna see these athletes go all the way down the grid, trying to cycle in and out of these movements as fast as they can. So you're gonna see a combination of muscle cleans, and as the weight gets heavier, they'll start pulling themselves under into a power clean.
That's right. For the South Beach Palms, they actually got the fastest time in the partner forward in the league for that first match. They do really well in the partner forward. That's kind of their bag.
Yeah, I'm looking at Alyssa Martinez right now. She actually came over from the Venom. She was with the Miami Freaks. There we go. A few years back, but her and JoJo came over, so I'm looking for them to play a vital role today.
Absolutely, and we do always see her in a partner forward. She kills it. She goes real fast. Heather Hudson also really fast because she's one of the smallest in the leagues. They're going to be switching out. Here comes Brandon Shipper and Sam Secord for the South Beach Palms. They finished that transition first. Good lead over here against the Breakers. Here comes Joseph Gomez and Vita Vetterkind for the Breakers, which Joseph is making that look like lightweight. He actually made up a lot of time for the Breakers over here.
Oh, definitely, because the Palms was definitely ahead, and a little slip up and fall right there.
Yeah, that cost them. But let's see if JoJo could get them their lead back, just like they did last time. Brandon Shipper going really fast on those. He travels all the way from Minnesota to be here.
And isn't he a surfer?
He's actually a professional water skier.
Water skier. I know he did something in the water, but he is so incredibly strong.
Absolutely. Sam Secord starting just behind Vita Vetterkind. Not the smoothest transition for them. Breakers ahead by 1 rep. Vita Vetterkind finishing off her last 2. It is up, and that is a race win for the Breakers.
That was exciting.
Wow, the Palm Beach Breakers coming out hot and heavy, making up a lot of time on those last 2 quadrants. I have to say, it was a really good choice putting them on those last 2. 100%.
JoJo definitely made up a lot of time. He was muscle cleaning. If you saw that Brendan was on the other side doing power clean, so that way it was just a hair bit more heavy for him. But JoJo definitely has the experience in here, so him being able to muscle clean it definitely helps speed up the cycle time a lot.
1000%. It was a lot of fun to watch. Now, we're not necessarily clearing off partner forward quite yet. We have Rebecca Rouse of the Tampa Bay Brigade coming out with special guest Nick Lavery of Team Machine. They are going to be doing the last 2 quadrants of partner forward, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Oh my gosh, I love Rebecca. I actually had the opportunity to play with her in Vegas when we did the super team.
Oh, the super team, how can we forget?
Oh my gosh, and she's so incredibly strong, but it's just an even better person. Like she is so functionally sound, but now this year, she's actually moving a lot faster. Right now, she has a full year of grid. She was excited to see her.
Because she's an Olympic weightlifter, so she doesn't have, as much fatigue. In weightlifting, you have a little bit more rest. It's not necessarily like CrossFit, but now she's getting to know what grid speed is like.
Oh yeah, she definitely drunk the juice, but I'm excited to see how she does this year. She's already looking so great.
1000%. Let's hear from Nick Lavery.
Seconds, if it's okay with you guys, Rebecca and I are going to go through a little workout. You guys good with that? All right, cool. Let's fucking go. All right, you heard the man.
Don't go anywhere, friends. Nick Lavery, Rebecca Rouse, both U.S. Marines.
That's a big boy.
That is a big boy.
Oh my.
So we're about to see it. We're stoked for it. I think they're going to crush it.
It's going to be so much fun.
Let's see if they know what grid speed is like, though. I know Rebecca knows. We were just talking about that. But let's see if Nick Lavery, gets a feel, see what it's like out here.
Judging by them shoulders, I think he knows how to throw around some weight.
All right, all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at those game faces out there. Nick Lavery, not standing in the right hash box, but that's fine.
We'll give it to him. We'll let him pass. We'll let him pass.
That's all right. He's already walking over to the bar. Grab it. Let's see if he can throw it up. Ooh, very easy. And another one. Very nice cleans for Nick Lavery. Really strong start out here. He's going to transition. He's going back to that. Oh, no, he's in the right hash box now. There we go. Rebecca Rouse, she's hitting those real fast. She's not hitting them quite grid speed, just giving him a little chance. You know, I know she could flex on him a little more if she wanted to.
She still has to compete a little bit later. She has
oh, those are some faults.
No rep, no rep, no. Where's the refs at?
There we go, there we go. Good showing, standing in that hash box. Rebecca Rouse coming out for the heavyweights. Ooh, touch and go, power clean.
Making that look so easy. I thought she was
It looks way too easy. Nick Lavery, little tall muscle. Oh yeah, tall muscle cleans for Nick Lavery.
Curls in there.
Woo. He might as well. I'm sure he could do them if he wanted to.
Exactly. See those biceps.
Amazing. I love the showmanship to the crowd, giving them a little head nod. Like, you saw that? You saw that?
Are you not entertained?
Looking great. Grabbing those dumbbells. Ah, come on. They needed to give him some bigger dumbbells out here. He's showing off.
I need to go back to the...
He threw them down.
I need to go down to the rest review. Those arms didn't look fully extended. Nah.
I don't know about that, but also he threw the dumbbells.
Exactly. Got a rerun.
Absolutely crazy. Well, Nick Lavery, thank you so much for coming on the grid today. It was amazing to see with your pal, Rebecca Rouse. But now that we got that out of our system, we're all warmed up, we're all excited at home. Let's go ahead and take a look at these rosters. We are looking at the Palm Beach Breakers first. All right, we have the utility players, the strength specialists, and the bodyweight specialists. They're thrown up into 3 different categories. Who do you think are going to be the real playmakers in this match?
I'm definitely going to be looking for the rookie Nathan Cobb. Coach Matt Hornaday has already picked him out to be a Rookie of the Year candidate, so I'm looking to see what he does. This is his first match, so I think they're going to be trying to catch him up to speed to get him in that running. But I'm also looking at Joshua Newell as well, too, so I think he's going to be showing off some of his a little bit of thick gymnastic skills as well, too. And then, of course, I'm always going to have my eye on the queen herself, Vita Vitakar. She is definitely the leader and the workhorse, but now she has a squad behind her, so I'm excited to see all year what a fresh Vita is going to look like.
1,000%. I think that's all that she was missing this entire time. I'm also looking forward to seeing Andrew Dodd play a bigger role on this team, as well as Evan Newman, to see how they can do on that sandbag ladder later. But let's go ahead and take a look at the other side, because we got some interesting switches here. Bryleigh Hansen is not here today. We already talked about that. She's taking care of a personal matter. But the only bodyweight specialist they have is Edgar Cantina, which is going to be pretty hard on them as far as, you know, the Jack and Jill and all of those things. But they have tons of utility players that can do a little bit of everything. I think we are looking at Corey Hendon to be a big playmaker. We spoke to them, and they said that he's going to be playing about 7 races today. So he's going to be a bit of a workhorse. Dainier Lansaka is back from a shoulder injury. We have Brandon Shipper back, coming all the way from Minnesota, and Sam Secord. I think those are going to be the real playmakers here today.
I definitely agree. They're going to, especially with a smaller roster for the bodyweight specialists, they're going to have to rely heavily on the utility athletes. So I'm definitely always going to be looking at Heather. She is incredibly strong, but she also has those high-skilled gymnastics movements as well.
That's right.
And so I think they're going to also rely a lot on Bryleigh and Bailey as well, too, to handle some of the load as well.
1,000%. And don't go anywhere. We are coming right back after your education on the mirror.
Mirror, the second race of every match, always features a barbell element. A male and a female barbell are placed in the first quadrant. Upon the start of the race, both are picked up by the team in any fashion by the 3 men and 3 women allowed in the race at any given time. Once the barbell leaves the ground, it may not touch the ground again until all reps are complete. If it does, the entire team must return to the start line before continuing. A set number of reps must be completed by both genders in each quadrant before the team can move on. Non-lifting players will act as the human rack to support the barbells as the team moves from quadrant to quadrant and switches performing players in the process as needed. Substitutions may happen at any time. Time stops when all reps are complete. and the last player crosses the finish line.
We are getting ready for this mirror race. Let's get it. And off they go. Palm Beach Breakers versus the South Beach Palms. This mirror is going to be 40 front squats, 10 in each quadrant. For the women, it's going to be 170 pounds. For the men, it's going to be 255 pounds.
This is going to be exciting because this is not lightweight. So seeing how they transition through here, but also 10 reps as this weight is going to definitely be a fatigue.
100%. I believe that the Palms said that Bryleigh Yarbrough is going to be doing 2 quadrants in this mirror race, so she will not be leaving the grid at any time. I think the Palm Beach Breakers are just a little bit bigger than the Palms, so the Palms have a little bit of a chance to make up time here, and off they go. They are about 1 rep ahead, making that transition into the next quadrant right before the Palms.
Yes, the Breakers have some work to do, but that's why I said Bryleigh's going to be one to watch because she is so strong, but her coming out here doing 2 quadrants is going to be huge. And it's going to come down to that last quadrant. We'll see if JoJo can do what he did last time and cut. Ooh, they made up some time. They made up some time. It's going to come down to the last one. Let's see what they got.
Yep. It looks like Nathan cost them just a little bit of time on that transition. He didn't necessarily know where he was supposed to be under that barbell. It still looks like they're pretty ahead, though. Really fast. Vita Vetterkind is finished. 1 rep remaining. Oh, and the Breakers take it by just a hair.
Ew, that was crazy. Because on the Palm side, Bryleigh was waiting for their partner over there. And your team is only as good as your slowest athlete. And so Bryleigh was 3 reps ahead of her teammate, and that definitely cost it. Wow.
1,000%. That race was brought to you by Rebuilt Meals. Let them do the work and let you do the living. Buy those pre-made meals. I've had a few of them. They are absolutely delicious.
They are really good.
I wasn't expecting that, you know, because I like to cook for myself and I'm pretty picky, but I eat all their meals. You can use code GRIDLEAGUE for money off. But in the meantime, we are here with our friend Daniel on the grid. Let's go ahead and take it to Daniel.
I'm here with Jused Milan. Jused, you are the student, now the coach. You were a player for Matt Hornaday's Breakers team. Now you're the coach of the Palms. Talk to me a little bit about what does it feel like? What are the emotions like being on this side of it?
So I absolutely miss being a player. Like the adrenaline rush and you get when you're a player, there's nothing like it. But being a coach is so much different. The stimulus is extremely high. I'm already losing my voice and it's only 2 races in, but I'm so proud to be given the opportunity to lead this amazing team.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a great job. The race is close. What do you tell them to stay in it?
It's short-term memory kind of game. So that's it. We came down by a couple of seconds these last races. That's okay. Let's move on and win the next one. Let's go.
Well, best of luck. Good job.
Thank you so much.
We are getting ready for this ringer point race. It's going to be the bar-facing burpees. Heather Hudson versus Billy Shelton. Now, here's something interesting, Taylor. I believe that Heather Hudson is undefeated for the burpee-facing ringer. The bar-facing burpee ringer. And this is going to be Billy Shelton's very first ringer ever.
I love to see it because Heather is a beast when it comes to ringer points in general. And so she's definitely one of the fastest in the game. But Matt Hornaday is very, very confident in their rookie. So I'm excited. It's always like you always want to go for the underdog just a little bit. But this one, especially in the bar-facing burpees, any little bit can definitely get them because they have to make sure that their legs are spread on each side. And also that you're hopping over and you're landing with both feet on the other side before the rep can count.
Absolutely. I know that Billy Shelton also has a track and field history, so she is really fast. She knows what to do under pressure, but I think that veteran knowledge of knowing what to do if, you get a fault and not necessarily having to look up to know where you faulted and knowing where your body is, body awareness on the grid at any time is really important too.
Yeah, and we saw that in the last matches back in May, that a lot of the rookies when they came in, it's different when you're training in a gym gym, but when you get out here underneath the grid skylights and everything, it's completely different when the pressure is on you. So let's see how.
1,000%. Now, Heather's undefeated. I'm sure that Billy's feeling some kind of nervous. I know that other teams were scouting her out too. The Las Vegas Venom were also scouting her out, see if she wanted to play for them, but she ultimately found her home in the breakers. Let's see it.
Stand by. Race.
Heather Hudson versus Billy Shelton, bar facing burpee ringer. Heather Hudson is undefeated in this ringer point race, and it looks like Heather Hudson is about 1 rep ahead here. Both of them moving really fast as they can. Hands up in the air for both players. 2 reps remaining for Billy Shelton. Billy Shelton is going to defeat Heather Hudson in her very first ringer point race.
Oh, Heather, I'm looking at Heather right now. Something happened. I think we may be seeing a challenge flag. Heather is not happy over there.
Oh, that is a referee challenge flag that just got down on the floor. That checkered black and white flag that you can see down here on your screen. That means that a referee made an error that would have definitively affected the outcome of the race. They might have to rerun this back after they look at the challenge. What exactly happened? We don't know, but we'll be right back after your education.
The Echo race is made up of 4 stations of elements that each must be completed before moving on in the race. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, but only 1 player at a time can perform reps. Substitutions may happen at any time. Once the Echo race is complete, get ready, because the same race will be repeated 45 seconds later. This race is about managing fatigue with your best players and leveraging roster depth to keep performance at a max pace through the second Echo. Remember, get ready to do it again in the Echo race.
1 sentence to describe my pain journey. I don't like getting old. I'm always achy in my knees and my neck. When I first started taking Lubricin, you can notice like drastic difference. The first 2 to 3 weeks of squatting is when I really noticed it. I'm able to like activate muscles a little bit quicker, and like it's not nearly as achy when I am doing certain stretches.
So sum up your experience with Lubricin in 1 sentence.
Take it. How about 2 words? Take it. If you are achy, comma, take it.
I'm gonna go ahead and send it over to my friend Daniel on the grid to figure out what's happening here. Daniel?
The challenge flag has been thrown. The referee's challenge flag is out, but it's saying that the palms are challenging the ruling. Basically, there's a discrepancy in the number of reps that Nicole Hunt or Heather Hudson completed on her burpees. So we're waiting for them to sort it out. Once we have it all sorted out, we'll get you a ruling. So stay tuned.
We got rebuilt mills here.
Wow, interesting. So it looks like they're trying to determine if they're going to rerun this race. Chief Referee Brandon, what do you make of this?
And this is why I'm glad we have the challenge flags. And but one thing I will say is that
There was an extra rep
Oh, here comes Brandon.
all right, we're gonna see a rerun. Let's
So
go.
it is going to be a rerun. There was an extra rep that took place on the palm side.
We're gonna run it back.
Daniel?
So it looks like the palms challenge upheld. There was a discrepancy on the reps that Heather Hudson completed. So with that, we're going to rerun it and see what happens here. So stay tuned with us.
Wow, you gotta love a referee challenge flag. You love when they, rectify their mistakes and they try to make it right.
Yeah, same here. But now this race is going to come down to conditioning because they just finished doing 11 or 12 reps as fast as possible. So let's see how they respond back. Billy now has 1 ringer underneath her belt, so now that she got the jitters out, so let's see if she can keep the conditioning up.
It's definitely going to be a tooth and nail fight. Let's go ahead and take a look at those game faces over here on the grid.
Referees and players, we're going in 1 minute.
1 minute until they face off again. Ringer points are always hard to rerun. That's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, you would have experience in knowing this. Does it feel almost like a relief, like, oh, okay, I know what to do. I know exactly what I did wrong last time and how to make up from it, even though I might be a little bit fatigued? Tell me.
The biggest thing is that you have the jitters, you have the nerves, like it's the anticipation. So now that you get that out and you know that you can run something clean, if you do have to come back in and redo it, now you're not worried about messing up. Now, again, it's about conditioning now and just keeping that intensity up.
1,000%. They are looking really hungry out here on the grid. Billy Shelton versus Heather Hudson. Can Billy do it again? Will Heather remain undefeated for this bar-facing burpee ringer? Let's find out.
Ready. Stand by. Race!
This is the rerun of the bar-facing burpee ringer, Heather Hudson versus Billy Shelton. Billy Shelton staying a lot closer to the ground this time. She's going a bit faster than she was last time, I will say. But Heather is just letting herself slide on the floor. That's going to give her a little bit of an advantage. They are so close. I think Billy Shelton has a slight lead. 1 rep remaining. Billy Shelton, undisputed champion of this bar-facing burpee ringer. Wow.
Wow. Heather was actually ahead for about like a half a rep, and then she just slowed down just a hair, and I think that track conditioning came into play. Wow.
Wow, she knew exactly what to do. She even adjusted. She started getting lower to the floor for that ringer. It was amazing to see. Wow, what an amazing showing from a rookie for a player from an undefeated ringer.
Undefeated. Man,
that's gotta feel good.
I know Coach Matt was up there talking about looking at Nathan Codd as a Rookie of the Year candidate. I think you may have to throw Billy's name in there.
Oh, man.
She's a gamer.
I think they have a few they could throw in there, to be honest with you. We'll be right back after your education on the Echo Race. Do not go anywhere.
The Echo Race is made up of 4 stations of elements that each must be completed before moving on in the race. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, but only 1 player at a time can perform reps. Substitutions may happen at any time. Once the Echo Race is complete, get ready, because the same race will be repeated 45 seconds later. This race is about managing fatigue with your best players and leveraging roster depth to keep performance at a max pace through the second Echo. Remember, get ready to do it again in the Echo Race.
One sentence to describe my pain journey. I don't like getting old. I'm always achy in my knees and my neck. When I first started taking Luberson, you can notice like drastic difference. The first 2 to 3 weeks of squatting is when I really noticed it. I'm able to like activate muscles a little bit quicker, and like it's not nearly as achy when I am doing certain stretches.
So sum up your experience with Luberson in 1 sentence.
Take it. How about 2 words? Take it. If you are achy, comma, take it.
And we are back for the Echoes. And of course, it's called the Echo because it echoes.
Echo, echo.
All right, now we got it down packed. Taylor, why don't you go ahead and tell them what they can look forward to here?
We have the Echoes. In the first quadrant, we have 1 barbell at 155 pounds. The men will be performing thrusters, and the women will be performing front squats. In the second quadrant, we have the handstand complex. This is the first year that they are going to be introducing this new handstand complex, which is going to be a handstand hold, a pirouette, a shoulder tap, and a freestanding handstand push-up. Try saying all that in one breath. And right after that, we have 15 ring muscle-ups. And in that fourth quadrant, we have that big boy down there with the 300-pound flip sled.
Oh, yeah. We know that the Breakers brought up Reese Lyons to be a real playmaker here, doing a lot of the gymnastics work, taking a lot of that brunt so that everybody else can do what they're good at, which is more of the utility skills, you know, let everybody shine where they normally shine. For the Palms, of course, they're going to be bringing out Dainier Lansake for those ring muscle-ups, doing a bunch of stuff. Corey Hendon, they have a deeper roster this season, even with Bryleigh Hansen not here. It's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes up. Now, of course, this echo is going to happen twice, so I wouldn't doubt if somebody's going to throw the challenge flag, depending on, I mean, sorry, not the challenge flag, the bonus flag, depending on how this one shakes out, no?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be watching, paying a close eye onto the Palms, because especially they have one bodyweight specialist right now at Edgar. So they're going to, of course, rely a lot on their utility athletes, but let's see how that affects them on their second one. And also later on down the line, as far as having to use their utility athletes for the triads that we're going to see later.
Definitely. It's a short turnaround for the Echoes. It happens twice, 45-second transition in between, so it's going to be a tough one. This handstand complex, I'm really excited to see it. I think it's going to get a lot of people stuck, because if you mess up on one part of that complex, you just have to start over, right? And that's going to make you more fatigued. It's going to take even more time. You as a coach, how would you maneuver coaching this?
Depends on who I have on my roster. If I have somebody that has the capacity on it, I'm gonna have them do the bulk of it. But as soon as they start to slow down, move from it and get somebody else on there quick.
Absolutely. Evan Newman coming out for the Palm Beach Breakers. Sam Secord coming out for the Palms. Those front squats for the ladies. It's going to be the same way as the thrusters for the men, but the front squats are going to be a bit faster. So it looks like the Palms decided to go with the faster option to start.
Yeah, and depending on what your roster looks like, you see right now the breakers are utilizing their guys.
Good transition from the breakers too into Shea Newell.
Yeah, the guys they have to do the thrusters. It's a longer range of motion, whereas it's a heavier weight for the women. So if you have a woman that can cycle through this fast, then of course that's going to be a lot faster. But these guys can pull and punch on that bar a lot faster.
That's right. Doesn't matter which way you face, a lot of good transitions here on the grid for that first bar. One rep away, and they are off to that handstand complex. We have Reese Lyons here. Reese Lyons is definitely a difference maker here. Brielle Macchiarelli having to come down from her handstand. That's going to cost time. Oh, Reese Lyons coming down from his handstand. Anytime that you mess up, you're going to have to start over from scratch. So that's where it's really going to cost you.
And this is great at speed, but you also have to have an element of control as well, too. You got the nerves, you got the pressure, you're trying to go fast, but you also have to be clean, because just like what we saw with Reese, he fell, he has to start all over again.
That's right, a hand up in the air for the Palm Beach Breakers. Not a hand up in the air for the Palms yet.
Yeah, so this is where it's good to have a lot of body weight specialists on your team, that they specialize in this. So the Palms are having to really dig in their bag of tricks with their utility athletes and just chip away. This is just about surviving the middle and trying to get to that flip sled as fast as they can.
Absolutely. Sabrina Cheney proving to be a valuable asset for the Palm Beach Breakers here. She has a gymnastics background, having competed at Auburn University in Alabama. One rep remaining for the Palm Beach Breakers. Hand up in the air finally for the Palms. Last rep, and Reese Lyons is off on those reins. 15 muscle ups.
Yeah, and the Palms, they still have 3 more reps to go, and Reese has one of the best butterfly muscle ups in the league, and so this is definitely going to extend their lead.
That's right. That was a fault for Edgar Cancina. You have to show control of the handstand. If you don't, that is going to be a fault. A lot of arch from Heather Hudson, and that is a good rep for her, making up some time, giving Edgar Cancina a little bit of rest. Vito Vetterkind finishing up those muscle ups, and JoJo Gomez is going to take that flip sled in just 1 second. Joseph Gomez off to the start. You just have to do a bunch of flips here, right?
Yep, and you just see right now that JoJo just got a fault because he flipped the flip sled from the wrong side, from the other side, and then landed into the third quadrant. If that flip sled goes into the other quadrant, it is a fault. So the first rep was definitely faulty.
That's right. It's definitely a tough one because of the bouncing that the flip sled does. That is 300 pounds total that Joseph Gomez is making look like a toy. Corey Hendon coming up to finish off those muscle ups, but I don't think that the Palms are going to be able to finish in time. There's 10 seconds left on the time cap. Can the Breakers do it? 5, 4, 3, 2. That is an incomplete for Echo 1 for both teams.
Wow, this is going to be a long day for the Echoes.
It's going to be a 45-second turnaround. Not a whole lot of time to adjust your strategy here, Taylor. Where it really cost a lot of time was that handstand complex. I'm sure a lot of people felt confident until they got here on the grid, and that's what's really going to make the difference here today.
And this is going to be crazy because the breakers, they were way ahead. They did a lot of work done, but it's still for it not to count.
Yep.
So instead of them being able to get the 2 points, they still got nothing. So in the pumps, they didn't have to do as many reps over there. So let's see how that affects them later on.
Yeah, at this point, if I'm any of these teams, by the 1 minute mark, if you haven't completed, you know, the brunt of the muscle ups, I say just let your team rest. It's not worth hitting that fatigue to get a 0 incomplete. Vita Vetterkind, Bailey Yarbrough coming out for these teams. A little bit of a difference in strategy, but I'm sure that it was a pre-planned thing. Let's see if they can make it up on the handstand now that they know what it's like under pressure, now that they know what it's like to be done fast. I mean, it's not necessarily fast. They just have to do it well. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily grid speed.
Judging off of what we saw in the first Echo, I think they're going to have to move faster in this first quadrant because they're going to need a lot more time in the second in the handstand complex so that they can get through it. The breakers, they were almost finished, but they still didn't have enough time, so they have to push harder in this first quadrant to give them time to get through this complex.
Absolutely. Sabrina Cheney already in a handstand. Bryleigh Macarelli already in a handstand. They are getting started on that first rep. You know, you really have to make up time here. I think sending out Sabrina for the first one was the good option because she doesn't have to come down to rest for any point.
Oh, not at all, but she... Whoa. Another thing is that you have to be under control, and Sabrina is showing great control. And she almost missed, she almost faulted on a couple, but she was able to control it and complete that rep.
That's right. Daniel Lansake coming out onto the grid. We didn't get to see him in that last match. He's been suffering a shoulder injury, but he is back. I mean, there's 4 reps remaining for the breakers. If they finish unbroken here, I'm sure there's enough time for them to finish the ring muscle ups and that flip sled that needs to be completed.
Yeah, and the control on this is crazy. They're going to definitely need Reese to do some fast butterfly muscle ups just to give their strength specialist opportunity to close at the end.
Absolutely. It's going to be a tough one. 1 rep remaining for Reese Lyons, and that's a good rep, and that's going to give way for Shane Newell to start those muscle-ups on the rings. The Palms are still struggling with that handstand complex. Taylor, this is going to be a tough Echo today, one of the most complicated ones I've seen.
I'm not sure if they're going to be able to finish because their ring muscle-ups aren't as fast, and Shay just got faulted for her first one. So let's see if Evan has any butterflies.
I mean, there's 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining, not a hand up in the air for these muscle-ups. If I am any of these teams, I don't tire my players out. For that flip sled, it's going to take definitely over a minute to complete 15 flips on that.
Matt is already calling his athlete down. So he's just saying just to take his time. He's already calling them off. Yeah, he's telling
him to come down. Evan Newman's not listening because you don't want to get fatigued. You're still going to get 0 points. This isn't a sport like CrossFit that you're going to get a participation point. As many as you get, you're not going to do it, you know? So there's 30 seconds. I don't know why the breakers are telling him to finish off the reps, but I mean, they're doing it. They're doing it. The Palms are still trying. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if I'm any of these teams, I save my players.
But the athletes are calling for them to go. The athletes are calling for them to go.
Yeah, they were, at first the breakers were like, let him finish. But Matt Hornaday was kind of like, hey, like, we're not going to finish this race. You might as well come down, save your muscles, save your energy, all of that good stuff. I don't think any of these teams suspected that this was going to be such a dominating element.
This is crazy. If any of the other teams are watching that,
take some notes.
Take some notes.
Take our free strategy. We're offering consultations.
Wow, this is crazy. So this doesn't hurt the palms, which is a good thing. So the breakers lead didn't progress, so it's still anybody's match.
Absolutely. What do you think? Knowing that element, we're going into another element that we haven't seen before, which is the ladder. What are you thinking in your head as a coach now?
Well, honestly, it's always 0-0. And so if I'm the Pumps, I would still be grateful that the breakers wasn't able to come away with 4 points.
Yeah.
So it's still back to 0-0. So now I'm going to use this as an opportunity to go all in on the ladder. The Pumps have some taller athletes on there, but the breakers do also have some taller athletes as well. And this is going to be a very different ladder. So I'm very interested to see how this progresses.
That's a really good point. It's 0-0, and you really have to just shake it off and go on to the next one. I mean, the point differential matters at the end of the season if a team has the same win-loss record as you to go into the playoffs. But if there's nothing you can do and it's not really, you know, gaining or losing, there's just really nothing you can do at that point.
There's nothing. And again, like, you can't sit and dwell on the past. You have to move forward. And again, the positive thing is that they're not in any worse situation than they were after the record.
Absolutely. It's really interesting. And we are going to take it over to Daniel in just a few seconds once that equipment is setting out onto the grid. But in the meantime, we'll be right back after your education on the ladder.
The ladder consists of 2 rows of 4 stations of a strength-based element, 1 row for males and 1 row for females. The weight increases as you move down the grid. Teams send out 1 player at a time, alternating male and female, to perform the designated lift for the match format. Each successful lift has a point value that is added to the team's ladder score. The point value is equal to the quadrant the barbell is sitting in. Players are allowed 1 lift attempt per quadrant and may skip any quadrant they choose, but are never allowed to backtrack once a barbell is passed. The team with the highest total point value at the end of the 4-minute time cap wins. This race is one of the most strategic and coach-reliant of all of the races. As a good game plan and in-the-moment decision-making, to manage time is everything. Remember, lift heavier and score higher in the ladder race.
I'm a marketing specialist and also a fitness enthusiast, so I kind of do a little bit of everything. A little bit of gymnastics, a little bit of lifting, but I'm also a person who gets really bored with eating the same things. I like that Rebuilt has made it a lot easier for me to meal prep because it takes out a bunch of meals that I don't need to now prep. When I'm at work, I can just heat them up really quickly, or if I'm working from home, I can heat them up really quickly. And it just makes the time when I do get home after work or after the gym a lot simpler because I have those meals ready to go. I track most of my macros. You can scan them super easily, put them in MyFitnessPal. It's easy for me then to plan the rest of my meals with the rest of the macros that I have left for the day because it tallies it up super simple for me. Super clean food while also tasting really good. I feel like I'm getting a good healthy amount of protein, carbs, and fat per meal. I like the lifestyle line. It allows me to have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more carbs. I feel good going into training. I'm ready to go. It makes my life super simple and I really like them.
And we are back. We're coming to our friend Daniel on the grid to check out this equipment. Daniel?
We are on the grid getting ready for the ladder race. Like conventional ladders, the weight changes in each quadrant. Today, the weight's gonna stay the same. We're talking 150-pound sandbags for the females, 200-pound sandbags for the males. Where the difficulty lies today is that in each quadrant, the yoke height is gonna elevate, making this challenging for even the strongest of our competitors. Cassie?
Thanks, Daniel. Let's go ahead and see what we can look forward to in this ladder as far as the specifics.
All right, today we have the sandbag ladder, and the men are going to be lifting 200 pounds, lifting over the heights of 30 inches, 44 inches, 58 inches, and the last quadrant is going to be 71 inches. For the women, it's going to be 150 pounds, and the quadrant, the height's going to be 30 inches, 42, 54.5, and then 67 inches in that last quadrant.
Now, Taylor, we spoke about this before the match started. You can train strength, you can't train height. so for my fellow shorties, this is going to be a tough one. But what do you make of this?
And myself, standing a very tall 5'2" 3/4.
Ooh, you got me.
I am so glad that they put this ladder in after I retired.
This would be the only ladder that you can't compete, Taylor.
The only one.
That is crazy.
And I played around with it, and that last height, it was a difference maker.
Ooh.
In my head, I always think I'm 6 feet until I got up there. I was like, I am not 6 feet at all. This is definitely just, even if you are strong, that doesn't matter right now.
Right.
And then also the other thing you have to realize as well too is that as the athletes go by and they lift it over, wherever that sandbag lands, you can't fix it back. So the athlete has to pick up the bag wherever it lands.
That's right. It's going to be a hard one. The only ones that are sandbagged down, by the way, are the ones in that last quadrant, right? So you can't necessarily use the force of pushing the yoke over, because then you might, what happened to Sabrina Cheney right here in that third quadrant, it might just bobble and you might not be able to get it over. You can't use it to get it over. Now, this is also a bit of a speed thing, right? Because there's a 4.5-minute time cap, but you need your whole entire team to go through. You really want to send the strongest out first, but everything is going to take a lot of time. So I don't see this being a very high-scoring ladder.
Not at all. And a lot of these athletes, they're used to training in their home gyms where either on their racks or they have their rigs anchored now. And I think once they see that they can't just push it over like you explained, that's going to mess up a lot of people's estimated plans. So with that, you'll definitely have to send your strongest out first. And if there's any kind of hesitation, you got to get them out, because you got to get as many people out there. But you definitely want to make sure that you have the strongest athletes that you know can cover the most bars. Give them the most time. Everybody else, get out.
Absolutely. They're bringing out the strongest and the tallest first, because you gotta. Of course, every quadrant that you're in, that's going to denote what number of points you're going to get from it. So quadrant 2 is worth 2 points. Quadrant 4 is worth 4 points. And we're going to find out definitively who wins it at the end of the ladder. But in the meantime, we're just watching them throw it over. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be crazy. Let's see it. And they are off. Abdul Cabral coming out for the South Beach Palms. Joshua Newell coming out for the Palm Beach Breakers. Josh Newell's going pretty fast, making really lightweight of all of these. Abdul is just a bit taller, though, going over. Can he get that fourth? Sandbag over. Oh, pretty easy. Great job, Abdul. Josh Newell getting it over as well. The South Beach Palms have just a bit of a lead over the Palm Beach Breakers here.
Yeah, I am not surprised that they sent out Josh and Arturo. They're definitely the tallest athletes on their team, but I am surprised that Arturo didn't do the, did he do the first one? Okay, he did do it.
That's right. Alyssa Hoffman coming out for the Palm Beach Breakers. If she drops that sandbag, she falls, and she does not get another chance at this. Oh, good third sandbag for her. Alex Germain is moving a little bit too slow for my liking, but she is going to get that fourth one. Nathan Cobb is coming out for the Palm Beach Breakers. This is his rookie season. He is throwing it back over the way that Josh threw it over, because you have to start from the opposite end. It's pretty crazy, Taylor.
I think somebody needs to check his bag, because I don't think he has the same weight as everybody else.
Wow. Yeah, that was probably the fastest time that we've seen all day. I need a little bit more speed from the South Beach Palms here, because the Palm Beach Breakers are making this look like child's play. Vita Vetterkind coming out for the Palm Beach Breakers. Third quadrant, lifting it up, and can she get it? Easy for Bryleigh Yarbrough, already on that third quadrant. She's making pretty fast for those first two as well.
Vita is going for it. She is on the shorter side. And
that's a ladder clear for Vita Vetterkind.
She is on the shorter side, so to see her clear the ladder, that is incredible.
That's right, Bryleigh Yarbrough finishing that ladder as well. Here comes Andrew Dodd of the Palm Beach Breakers. He's a rookie this season as well. Andrew Shipper, really fast on that opposite side. I don't know if anybody's looking at that, but he's a tall dude, he's a strong dude, and he just finished in almost half the time that it took Andrew to finish over here for the Palm Beach Breakers.
Yeah, he definitely made that weight look really light over here. Well, all the tall men have definitely been doing their job and been clearing that last lap. ladder relatively easily. So I'm actually going to be looking at a lot of the women to see how many women can actually clear this well, too.
That's right. It looks like Sam Secord opted out of that fourth one. Alyssa Martinez, she's one that I've been looking forward to seeing over here. She's getting off the grid. She struggled a little bit. I'll call her a medium average height, you know what I mean? So I was excited to see how she would do that. Dilly Fullwood, not a strength specialist. I wouldn't necessarily call him bodyweight either. He's pretty strong, but he's doing pretty well on this ladder so far. He's on the taller side, but I wouldn't call him the strongest players that the Breakers have. Corey Hendon, a little bit of a shorter dude over there for the South Beach Palms. Can he do it? And it is stuck. Oh, and it's over. Really good effort from him over there, and a really pretty easy Dilly Fullwood. Made me eat my words. He did that pretty fast too. Shay Newell coming out. She's on the shorty side too. Part of the shorty club. 5'5" and under, baby.
Let's go. Heck no, we won't grow. Yes.
This is a really hard one. For a lot of elements on the grid, you know, it's not really dependent on height. You know, heights give you some advantages, but for these kinds of ladders, there's really nothing you can do for them.
And it's crazy because typically in a sport of grid, you want your athlete to kind of be on the shorter side of medium height. But for this race right here in particular, it's good to have some of your taller athletes to shine.
Yep, good adjustment from Evan Newman, who I think is going to be one of the, you know, players given some kind of title soon. We have about 10 seconds left. And Sabrina Cheney was able to get that 1 point for the Breakers, and she is satisfied with that. I love that reaction over here from the Breakers. We're going to find out just exactly happened here, who took that. They have to tabulate the score. We're not going to give you guys a fake score. You know, we don't want to cause any speculation, but I'm honestly pretty impressed with what we saw today. We saw a good mix of that fourth bar from everybody.
It was. I am actually very impressed about how many women actually cleared it too, especially on the pump side. So
and how many shorties?
Yes, represent for the under 5'4". Yes, stand up. Now I feel bad. I feel some kind of way. Now I need to go back into the gym and prove that I can hit that last bar.
I never thought that I could, but I'll dream of it tonight. We're gonna go ahead and take it to our friend Daniel on the grid with Inside with Daniel.
I'm on the grid here with Artur Cabral. Artur, this ladder, you're the tallest guy in the league. Is it a favorable condition with the yoke height elevating in each quad for the tallest guy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think height plays a big factor, and I think that's one of the things that the league is trying to implement a little bit more, to have different size frame people on the grid to force people to do like taller person implements, so definitely.
Absolutely. So I saw some of your athletes, you in particular, you skip quadrant 1 and move straight to quadrant 2, even though we know you could do quadrant 1. What's the strategy behind that?
Yeah, so we're trying to get as many people through as possible. This is new ladder, is a slower ladder, so making sure we get more points on the board instead of hitting all 4 quadrants was our strategy for sure.
Well, hey, hang in there. It's a tough battle right now. Best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Cassie, back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. We're getting ready for that next ringer point race. Now, we saw Heather Hudson with that dominant showing in the last one. I mean, sorry, not Heather Hudson.
Billy Shelton.
I played myself. It was so out of nowhere that I actually forgot who won it twice.
We're so used to saying Heather.
Heather.
In these ringer points. We're so used.
Now there's a new name, Billy. We gotta give her her flowers. She won twice. Undisputed champion. They reran it. She adjusted. She killed it. We're getting ready for this next one. It's going to be 9 muscle-ups. With Dainir Lanzake coming out for the Palms, and for the Breakers, it's going to be Reese Lyons. Now we're getting that ladder score in just a second, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at these game faces. I have a question for you, Taylor. Somebody asked this earlier, and I'm going to repeat it for you because I thought it was just a great question. You're a coach. If you're a coach during this match, and it's going this way, what are you telling your team? What are you doing? What are you adjusting?
Oh, honestly, that's a great question. So if I were, let's say if I'm on the pump side, if I know I'm behind, nothing changes. We have our game plan, we stick to the game plan, nothing else. At this point, we just have to bring it back to 0-0. And so we have to make sure that we're keeping everything clean. We're staying focused and keeping the main thing the main thing. So we always will tell my athletes, we can't get too high and we can't get too low. This is a very emotional sport, so we have to stay even keel. Because we've lost 6, 7 races in a row and came back and won. So we just have to make sure we stay even keel and just stay focused. The main thing, the main thing.
I love that. You got to keep the main thing, especially with how competitive it is.
Palm Beach Breakers to take it with 77 total.
Wow, 77 points.
Wow.
The Breakers are going to take that ladder. We are going to find out in just a second by how much the Palms won, because if they didn't finish within 10 points, the Palms are going to get a 0, while the Breakers, since they won, are going to get that 2 points. But that's a pretty high-scoring ladder, I think, more than I anticipated.
Yeah, the Palms actually had 71, and I think they thought that they won. And then it was announced that the Breakers got 77. So it's good. They still get a point. They didn't get that 10-point differential, so that's good. At least they got 1 there. So it's still anybody's a match now. So now I always will tell my athletes at this point, it's a brand new match.
Yep.
And so whatever happened before the ladder is done. So you can still make up plenty of ground now. We have the ringer point going on next, and Jack and Jill, so it's still anybody's match.
I really like that, Taylor. We're halfway through, you know, and that sounds like a lot, but there's still so many things that can happen. We're changing gears from strength to gymnastics. The rosters are changing, you know, the players coming in are changing, and there's so many things that can happen. I feel like we've gotten over the part that everybody was stressed out about for the most part, and now we're getting into the stuff that's a little bit more, you know, grit. Yeah, we're getting the things that we're familiar with.
Exactly. And then on top of that, we still haven't seen bonus flags. And so any team can throw the bonus flag out here, which could give them an extra point as well, too. So if the Palms have something that they're very confident in and they throw that out, and let's say the Breakers don't finish a race, then that's 3 points that can be given to the Palms. So it's still anybody's race.
That's so true. And I think this ringer point race, if I'm the Palms, I haven't necessarily won a race yet. I'm feeling a little bit discouraged. I'm feeling hungry, though. You know, I'm not letting that affect me. I'm not letting that affect my emotions. You really have to just, you know, take it on the chin. Everything is so different in grit. It's not like you're doing the same thing over and over and hitting your head against the wall, but necessarily because you have your teammates for it. And that's where the emphasis on this being a team sport really comes in, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I'm always looking for the leaders on the team as well, too. What are you doing to make sure that everybody on that bench is still staying focused, still in it, still hungry? Because at this point, you keep on getting punched in the mouth. But this actually shows the true depth of the team, and if they really have that dog in them.
1,000%. We are about 50 seconds from the start of this ringer point race. Now, this is going to be Dainier Lansake for the South Beach Palms, and for the Breakers, it's going to be Reese Lyons. We saw Reese Lyons do this last season. I believe he was a rookie last season, but he's proven to be extremely valuable. Didn't know if he was going to play this season, but the Palm Beach Breakers, of course, sucked him in because they're a great team, great culture that they have. But he got beat by this ringer point by Alex Smith last season, but so close. And it was by such a skilled, high-level athlete that I think you wear that as a badge of honor. So I think these two players are going to really duke it out right now.
The first rep is going to be incredibly important. Who can stabilize at the top? Because if the rings start to swing too much, then that can definitely affect the rest of the reps.
Absolutely. I think Dainier is a little bit more careful with his reps, as Reese Lyons is a little bit more balls to the wall. I'm just going to, you know, start swinging and do my thing, and I'll get the control when I get there. Dainier Lansake having to do a little bit more of a muscle than Reese Lyons. Reese Lyons is able to just float at the top there. His hips are getting up real high. 1 rep remaining for Reese Lyons, and Reese Lyons is going to take it. Looks like Dainier he did have a bit of a shoulder injury going into this. We knew that. As soon as he started doing that, something hurt with his lat, so he just couldn't finish that. It's better not to just injure yourself and let anything happen. That's a really scary one. You don't want to risk it.
Oh, yeah, he already had a lat injury, and so when you see him, he's very, very good and well skilled at this movement. But he came down, he immediately grabbed the lat, and I'm guessing that that's probably what's already the trauma side. So it's very hard to see somebody, you're already very short on bodyweight specialist, so to see somebody that's so high skilled him go down, I pray for a speedy recovery. Hopefully it isn't anything worse.
Absolutely. So it looks like the Breakers are going to get 2 points for that race, and it looks like the Palms will get 0 because you have to finish within 20% of the other team, which they did not. We are going to come back with that official score. In the meantime, we'll be right back with your education.
Jack and Jill features 3 stations of high-level bodyweight-based elements that increase in difficulty moving down the grid. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, and only 1 player can be working at a time. The team can only move on to the next station when the previous station is complete. This race is the simplest when it comes to rules, but the most reliant on player skill and speed, as the hyper-specialists often make the difference in the race. Remember, let the bodyweight ninjas fly in the Jack and Jill race.
My mission is to be the strongest, highest performing version of myself each and every day that I wake up. I first met Nick about 3 years ago, and we established that we have a lot of alignment when it comes to our mission, our vision, and values, both in business and in life, and in personal development. Machine Strength is our training platform where we help people become the strongest, most capable, most resilient versions of themselves through our online programming, as well as through in-person seminars where we help people learn, grow, and win together. We want you in this for the long haul. We are not promising any quick fixes, but we are promising you that if you show up and you work hard consistently, you can transform your body and your life. We recognize that nobody can achieve their ultimate goals by themselves, and that is where Machine Strength and Grid are completely aligned when it comes to hard work, discipline, integrity, and teamwork. All the values are the same. Join me to see what you're capable of and have some fun at the Dallas Strength Expo on July 12th and 13th in Mesquite, Texas. We'll do a team workout, get to play some grid, and afterward you can be my guest to watch my team, the Tampa Bay Brigade, in our season finale. It's going to be an incredible time, so don't miss it.
Welcome back. We're getting ready for this Jack and Jill. This is the Ascend match format. So this Jack and Jill is all going to be about the ropes. Taylor, what can they look forward to here?
They are going to be looking at a lot of rope climbs. In that first quadrant, they have 15 rope climbs. In the second quadrant, they have 10 legless rope climbs. And in the very last rope, they're going to be doing 3 L-sit rope climbs to a 13-foot target.
Now, we've seen this Jack and Jill before, so hopefully they're more prepared for this one. You know, we saw a little bit of trouble with the Echo 2 DNFs on both sides, but we're getting ready for this one. So let's take a look at those game faces. Let's see it. And they are off. Heather Hudson and Brett Henry coming out for the Palms. Evan Newman and Haley Booker coming out for the Breakers. They are so strong. All of Evan Newman, he can do a little bit of everything. I can't believe that he just did such great rope climbs here. These are the really hard ones. These are the regular ones so far. Brett Henry's coming out because, of course, he's tall. You climb up. He's doing them legless, though. Did he already start doing them legless? I don't even know. I don't even know if they finished the 15. He's just doing them legless just for fun.
Sometimes when your feet get caught up, it's just fast, just to keep moving.
Yeah, totally. Here comes Nathan Cobb coming out, giving it to Sabrina Cheney. Sabrina Cheney is just a little bit shorter. Atu Cabral using his height to his advantage, grabbing up as high as he can. Remember, friends, they have to do 15 of these before they move on to that next rope, because that next rope is going to give you those legless ones. And it looks like everybody, you know, is kind of taking it easy here because they're really going to need that upper body for the next one.
Dylan was just like, forget the legless. I think he's warming up for his legless with the regular rope climbs and doing more legless. But he is just probably one of the fastest rope climbers.
I think you're right. Brandon Schupper with the size of those arms, professional water skiing. We were talking about that earlier. But Andrew Dodd having just a little bit of trouble with that rope, getting the bottom of it. I saw Haley coming in trying to grab the rope from the bottom of Evan Newman earlier. I don't think she necessarily understood what they meant by that transition in the moment. But if you're down there, you're going to get smacked in the face by that rope. I was like, watch out, girl.
Watch out. Because when you come down, because the ropes don't touch the ground, they swing a lot. So when the athlete comes down off the rope, we tell them to come down and hold the bottom and steady it so that the next athlete can jump straight up.
That's right, because if the rope did touch the ground, you have a higher chance of injury, of falling down onto that rope, you know, rolling an ankle. We don't want to have any of that happen here, so our ropes are not touching the ground. Atu Cabral finishing up his reps for the South Beach Palms. They're doing just a bunch of legless over there. And we were talking about this. The Breakers are calling him the Rookie of the Year over here. Nathan Cobb looking super strong. Billy Shelton's coming out too.
One thing that both teams have to watch out for is that they're coming down and they're pushing the rope and throwing the rope. So that the athlete that's out there, if they jump and try to grab it, they can miss that, which would definitely hurt them. So they have to do a better job with controlling it all the way down.
Absolutely. I think when players are making their descent, it's really helpful if their partner can be there controlling it, because you don't want to be in the bottom on the way up, but on the way down, it's a little bit more control. You have less chance of getting hit in the face with that rope. Both of these teams with hands in the air. It looks like the Palms are just 1 rep ahead here. 1 rep remaining for the Palms on the legless. 1 rep remaining for the Breakers on the legless. And Alyssa Martinez is going to finish it first for the Breakers. And Jay Newell is going to start first for those legless. Legless also have to be on top of your hips. Hips facing up. You have to make it to that red tape. Feet above your hips, right?
Feet above the hips, yep. And I would like to point out that the Breakers have 2 strength specialists taking care of the L-sit rope climbs right now.
Wow, amazing point. Vita Vetterkind, Jay Newell, they can do it all. And the Palms are going to take it.
That is a huge, huge win and confidence booster for the Palms. I'm so excited that they stuck with it. They definitely used their height, their length, their speed for this. And Heather Hudson and their other athlete, I can see who was over there, they definitely came home and brought it back home for them.
Totally. They are doing so good. It looks like the Palms finally got their first race win of the day. They really needed that for morale. And you know, it's an exciting one. It's one that I'm sure, you know, the Breakers felt pretty confident seeing how all of their body weight elements came into play.
And at this point, again, the Palms, whatever happened before, you have to leave that in the past. You got to move on. The Jack and Jill, that's done. You got one underneath your belt. So this is where the momentum can start to shift now. So now they have a really good women's squad on the Triad. They can come in and really solidify their momentum and their confidence, rebuild their confidence with this Triad. So I'm excited to see what's next.
Absolutely. This Jack and Jill was brought to you by Rumble Roller Go Deeper. Self-massaging tools to help you get into those deep tissues. And speaking of Triad, we will be right back after your education. Don't go anywhere.
The Triad is the only race in which there is a male and a female version performed separately. It consists of 5 elements, each with 3 stations that must be completed individually. 3 players can be on the grid at any given time. All players can perform at any station and in any order. But all of the designated reps must be performed at each station. All 3 stations of each element must be complete before the team can move on to the next element. The Triad is all about player conditioning and managing fatigue across the team. The best strategy ensures players have enough left in the tank for the last element and has backup plans for when things inevitably go wrong. Remember, try to catch your breath in the Triad race.
I'm almost always on a foam roller. That's the first thing I do when I start training. I was just on the Rumble roller. Rolling out those muscles and getting them opened up and warm helps me mobilize a little bit easier.
It wasn't just a regular roller. It hit the right spots.
As the body weight specialist, I'm always trying to get in there just so I can get better range here. I'm definitely using this as much as possible.
I'm so excited to get to work those into my mobility, my warm-up drills, and that's already going to go right into my gym bag.
I will be using this to get in there so that I can get out there and be all right.
How long have you been competing in grid?
This is my rookie season.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You excited?
I'm nervous. Probably most nervous about like just figuring out how grid works. Grid's a little different than CrossFit comps. So it's been little things like getting used to like, hey, don't drop the bar on your last rep because you have to pass it off to somebody, like stuff like that. I think it's little things like that that I'm most nervous about.
All right, you guys ready? We'll be outside, outside. All right, so first thing, who's a rookie? Okay, who knows how to run grid? Okay, so you rookies, we need to learn every race. I don't care if you're in it, I don't care if you're not even playing today or at all. You need to learn every race, okay? The way you see it is you're an athlete, right? You have this sport, okay? Who's played sports, team sports before? Okay, football, soccer, baseball, whatever it is, basketball, but you knew the plays in a sense. Practice is to understand each race, whether you're doing it or you're not doing it. Because guess what? You might do it. We might need you in there. Echo and Triad are going to probably be the hardest races, and we need everybody to be on those. And even partner forward, we might need those. We might need people to do those things. Watch them, okay? Got two reps, 4 reps, 4 reps. 3, 2, 1, race! 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Watch the transition.
And that was a fun breakers practice, but we are back in the action getting ready for this women's triad. In that first quadrant, we got barbell clusters at 75 pounds. And then we're going into those freestanding handstand push-ups, burpees over the box at 24 inches, and then finally 50-pound dumbbell shoulder to overhead. Now, triad is 3 women, finishing off with that 60-foot handstand walk at the end. Now, this is 3 women working at the same time. Reps have to be completed on each element. Here we go. South Beach Palms, Heather Hudson, Sam Secord, Amber Bose coming out for the breakers. That is Haley Booker, Alyssa Martinez, and Vita Vetterkind.
If I was the Palm, you have nothing to lose at this point. It's balls to the wall. It's all gas right now. So you're definitely going to see them. They're a very conditioned team. They are extremely feisty and very gritty. So at this point, they have to go balls to the wall.
Absolutely. You know, everybody's really hungry. We're going to see how the genders fare against each other because it's a women's triad and then it's going to be a male triad. Hands are up in the air all over the place here. It's going to be a matter of who can get to those freestanding handstand push-ups first. Now, we saw a bit of handstand trouble earlier, but that was a bit more complicated. These are just the freestanding handstand push-ups. These ladies are doing it pretty much unbroken, looking really, really strong out here.
Yeah, it's only 3 reps, so this is just something just to get them a little bit dizzy. But let's see what happens once they come out of these burpee box jump overs.
Absolutely. It looks like the Palm Beach Breakers were able to get there first. The South Beach Palms working on the other side. It's just a bunch of hops right now, jumping over the box. Who can do it fastest? Not too much skill. Obviously, you don't want to run your shin into the box or anything like that, but they're just going through it as fast as they can.
This triad's a little bit different than a lot of other triads. Typically, triads end with a barbell movement or a strength-focused movement at the end. This one ends with a gymnastics. So the middle portion of the elements are going to tire them out before they get to the handstand wall.
Absolutely. It looks like Sabrina Cheney is already going into that 4th element here on the female triad. Reps are completed on the breakers, and they're completing it as fast as they can. I have to be honest, I didn't think Sabrina Cheney was going to be out here moving those dumbbells. She's considered a bodyweight specialist, but she's proven to be really strong this match.
She is throwing those dumbbells around. Yes, come on, strong girl.
Alyssa Martinez, Vita Vetterkind joining her out there. 2 reps remaining for Sabrina. I'm sure they're going to need her for those handstand walks. 60 feet, 3rd quadrant to that start line. Then it's going to be a sprint to the finish. South Beach Palms just started having hands in the air. It's a tough one. The breakers are looking like they're going to be taking this one too if they don't kick down from that handstand.
I'm really impressed with Sabrina right now. She just knocked out those burpee box jump overs, those dumbbell shoulder overhead, and she killed the handstand wall.
She totally did. It was a really strong showing from these ladies. A little fall from Alyssa Martinez. She's going to have to finish into that last one. She's fatigued. They're switching out for Sabrina Cheney, and it's a sprint to the finish line. Woo! And the breakers are going to take it. Bit of a miscommunication there, but luckily they had a strong enough lead that it didn't matter too much.
Yeah, that was a great heads up by Billy. She saw that Alyssa was having some trouble. She ran out there and knocked out that last set of handstand walks for her.
That's right. It looks like Bryleigh Macarelli is having a little bit of trouble on that last handstand. She did the brunt of the work for that strength stuff, so no doubt there's some fatigue there. Sam Secord is going to be running into the finish line. They are going to be finishing under that time cap, so they're going to get that 1 time cap point. Now, the score is pretty much gone from here. 13 points for the Breakers, and that's going to be 7 points for the Palms. It's not anybody's game anymore. Unofficially, you hate to say it, but it looks like the Breakers took this match, but if I'm the Palms, I'm still fighting to lower that point differential.
Well, now this is a different game. You're absolutely right. So the score is out of their hand right now, but you still have to play for that point differential, and we've seen it every single season where at the end there's always some kind of tie and they're going to look at the point differential. So every single point matters.
Absolutely. We're getting ready for the start line interview in just a few seconds, but in the meantime, what do you make of the male triad? Now, we saw them both finish under the time cap. They fared well against each other. It looks like that handstand walk off to the shoulder to overhead was kind of the difference maker there.
Yeah, and I think it also came down to the burpee box jump overs, because they were pretty neck and neck. I think the Breakers was a little bit ahead, but they were able to keep their speed. The Palms just slowed down just a hair bit, and the speed of the Breaker women, they were able to send a couple of athletes over to the shoulder overhead, while there were still more athletes working on the Palm side.
Absolutely. We're getting ready to go to that start line interview. Daniel is at the start line with Haley Booker. Daniel?
With Haley Booker. Haley, your rookie debut last week, how did it feel? Are you acclimated yet?
Oh, I'm hooked. The energy of being in grid, the team atmosphere, the sport itself, it's everything I've been looking for, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be a part of it.
Absolutely. So week 1, limited role. Week 2, ramped up a little bit. How's the body holding up, and what do we expect from you in this back half in the sprint relay?
Yeah, so body's feeling good. I try to take my recovery very seriously. In the first match, I'm a rookie, so I don't necessarily have anything until I can show that I can do what they put me in. And so I trust Matt Hornaday and our team to the ends of the world to put me in what they think I can handle, and I just prove to them, hey, I can perform. Continue plugging me in when you need me.
Hey, everything they're doing is working, so keep it up. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Back to you, Cassie.
Thanks, Daniel. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Want future-ready fiber home internet
that's ultra fast
and Grid League strong? Level up with T-Mobile Fiber. Game, stream,
and stay connected to what matters
with lightning quick speeds.
Up to 2 gigs and rock solid reliability.
Equipment and installation are included with each plan. Oh, and there's no exploding bills. Visit fiber.tmobile.com/pbbreakers to find out if T-Mobile Fiber is available where you are.
Go Palm Beach Breakers and go T-Mobile Fiber Home Internet.
Hey guys, I'm Jordan Nicolosi, top producing loan originator at Premier Lending Corp. I'm a proud husband and father of 2 beautiful girls, self-proclaimed sneakerhead. I'm a firefighter, paramedic, avid subpar golfer. Mortgages aren't just numbers, they're homes, they're real lives, they're a chapter in somebody's life. I want to help you guys get to the closing table. I want to make it a stress-free process, and I want to give you the clear path to the home of your dreams. What makes me different? I move fast, I'm responsive, I'm available 24/7, and I'm there when you need me. I want to listen to your problems and make sure that I address them and set you up for success. That's why I'm the top producing loan originator at Premier Lending Corp. If you want a lender that's in your corner from day one, let's talk. I'll help you win the home you love, and I'll keep your deal moving at your pace, not the bank's.
And we are back. The only difference is going to be the gender and the weight. Now it's going to be 115 pounds. It's going to be 3 handstand push-ups, burpee over box with a 30-inch height, and that men's weight is going to be 7 pounds for those dumbbell shoulder to overhead. Now, there's going to be a special surprise in this race, folks, so make sure you're paying close attention and do not go anywhere. We're going to see how the men fare against each other now. The Breakers just took that one, but can they take the next one? Let's see it.
Race!
As you can see, there's a QR code at the top of your screen. Make sure you enter. Shout out to our last winner, Daniel Rivera. He scanned this QR code last month during our last match, and he won so many prizes from T-Fiber. Shout out to T-Fiber for providing those for us. But make sure you enter this giveaway. We have over hundreds of people enter, and only one will win. So make sure you tell your friends, you do it, do all of those things.
I know some people don't think that the QR codes work. They work.
I know, we entered ourselves.
Exactly.
All right, back to this male triad now. They are doing those clusters. That weight is going to be 115 pounds. It's 16 of them, and they are off to those freestanding handstand push-ups. The breakers are out first. Slight lead against the palms here, and that was really the difference maker. You're really going to have to move as quickly as possible on elements like these to get to those box jump overs, because that's when you're going to get tired, and you really want to save yourself for those dumbbell shoulder to overheads and that handstand walk back to back. It's going to get you.
Definitely. I'm looking at Brenda Schaefer over here on the pumps. He is doing every single element of the triad over there, but I think there was a little bit of miscommunication, but he is ready to go right now. But the breakers right now has a little bit of a lead.
That's right. He is killing it on the grid. This is his first time on the grid. He's doing really well. When they said Rookie of the Year, you know, I thought that was just a little bit of fodder, you know, just something to put themselves out for. But I think they really mean it, and I think they have a strong horse in the running.
And this is his first match.
Yep.
So this is his first match, and he is definitely showing why he is definitely should be looked at, even though he missed that one due to a friend's ready. But he is all over this grid today.
That's right. Dilly Fullwood finishing off that last rep of the box jump overs. Jonathan Restrepo, the first one onto those dumbbells. He's doing those as quickly as possible. You know they need him for the handstand. He's their handstand guy over there. Evan Newman coming out. Andrew Dodd coming out. Palm Beach Breakers, very healthy lead on the palms here. You know, the palms are always just that one, you know, one step behind when it comes to their roster. They always work with less people than other teams. So it is really hard, but you know, at a certain point, you just have to be like, come on, we have to do it. We have to finish. The breakers have not kicked down yet. They're already in that second quadrant. Very healthy lead. They've all but taken it. Andrew Dodd coming back down. He already knows where to adjust himself on the hash marks to kick back up. And you love that, because this is only his second match ever, and he already has that knowledge. You know, Taylor?
Exactly. And he's a big boy, too. So to see a little bit of the thick masses doing some of the gymnastics work, it's fun.
And the Palm Beach Breakers are going to win that male triad. Great job from the Breakers. The Palms still finishing up their work, and you can see them in that corner there. Dilly Fullwood doing amazing on those handstands. Strong showing from him. He did really good on that ladder as well, and I think he's proving the naysayers wrong out here.
I like that one. He is kind of a unsung hero. He's all over the grid. He does great at the body weight elements, but he's also has some strength behind him too. Saw him clear the ladder earlier too.
Absolutely. It's a good spread out here. The Palms finishing well under the time cap. They are going to get that 1 point for finishing with 30 seconds remaining. 2 points will go to the Breakers, who, as we've said earlier, have all but taken this one.
Oh, definitely. And we were up there talking about that right now. They're playing for the point differential. So I am interested to see what the other matches looking like for the rest of the day, and seeing how much of their lead is going to help catapult them in the standings and the rankings.
Absolutely. Now, let's go ahead and go onto the grid with our friend Daniel at the start line. Daniel?
We're down here with Nate Cobb. Nate, this is the first time anybody in the United Grid League is seeing you do your thing on the grid. How you feeling?
I feel great, dude. That one hurt the most, but that's why I'm so out of breath, but it's been really fun. This energy is awesome. I hate that I missed the first match, but I'm glad that I'm here the rest of the season, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, everybody talks about grid speed and how hard it is to get acclimated to grid speed. It seems like you got it figured out, but is grid speed a thing?
Oh, 100%, dude. It's so much faster than everything I've ever trained for, but luckily, this is my favorite stuff to do. Go as fast as possible, go as heavy as possible, and I'm good at it, so I like it.
Well, it seems like you guys got the match well in hand. What do you got to do to close out in this sprint relay?
Just execute. We don't have to do anything crazy. Just hit our stuff, hit it clean, no reps, and we win.
Hey, go get it, man. Best of luck, Nate. It's Nate Cobb, everybody.
What a great interview from Nate Cobb. What a personality. What a, spokesperson for Rookie of the Year, Taylor.
Look, as a coach, I like him.
All right.
I like him because he's a rookie, but he doesn't move like a rookie. He doesn't talk like a rookie.
Absolutely.
You can tell he's very confident. So I'm excited to see what he looks like for the rest of the year, but he's made for the sport.
All right, I love to hear that. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The sprint relay is the final race of every match and is worth an extra point for the race win. It is a relay race with one player allowed on the grid at a time and 8 elements to perform. Any player can perform on any element, and substitutions can happen at any time, except when a player performs the last rep of an element. In that case, the player must run back to the start line, perform a 4-point touch behind the start line, and sprint through to the finish line, permanently leaving the race. The next player may enter once the previous one has crossed the finish line. The only exception is the distance element that ends at the finish line with no sprint back required. The catch is, 4 men and 4 women must finish the 8 elements. The sprint relay is a great balance of strategy to decide which players in what order are the best combination, along with clean and well-executed elements by the players, to lead to the best race outcome for the team. Remember, 4 men and 4 women must finish the 8 elements in the sprint relay.
Oh, it's been a blast. I'm already losing my voice. We're only halfway through this.
With grid, if you can do a couple things well, you can learn how to do the other things well. You can have a really good time.
It's nice that they're doing like a beginner kind of level, so we can participate. That's yes, agreed.
It's fun, it's crazy, it's
competitive, it's high octane, high energy, high intensity.
So fast. Everything is fast.
CrossFit is usually individual focus with the movement and stuff, but here it's really looking at everyone's strengths and looking at how we can build on each other and how you can swap in for people if needed. So it's been kind of neat to go back to like groups like that for teamwork.
If you are a CrossFitter and haven't tried grid, go grid.
Yeah.
And we are back for the last race of the first match of the day. Taylor, why don't you go ahead and tell the people what they can look forward to in this sprint relay?
All right, we're closing it out with the sprint relay. In that first project, we're going to see one suicide run where they're going to go back and forth between each of the quadrants, and they're going to finish all the way through the finish line. And then the second element is going to be 12 snatches at 165 pounds, followed by 2 L-sit rope climbs, 12 triple unders, 6 single dumbbell overhead squats at 40 pounds, 9 burpee to a 9-foot 9-inch ring, 6 freestanding handstand push-ups, and we're going to close it out with 3 easy clusters at 250 pounds.
Now, Taylor, this is where I ask you as a coach, right? You haven't always been a championship team with the Aces, You had a really good record some seasons. Some seasons you didn't do the best.
A lot of seasons.
Now, if you're in the Palms position, as you have been before, what are you telling your team? How are you hyping them up? Are you thinking ahead to the next one? Are you thinking about the sprint relay at hand? What's going through your mind?
We still have to close it out. And so after the match, we'll have plenty of time to regroup, reassess, but we still need a win. We still need some kind of small win because we have to get our confidence from somewhere. So I don't care if we have 0 points. We still got to finish with 1. If we can edge out here and win this still goes, that energy still transitions into the next match. And then also our training as well, too, because we know what we're capable of. So even though the scoreboard looks how it is, it doesn't mean that we're not a great team. So we just got to fill our holes. They're still gritty. Some of the races still came down to the last couple of seconds, so it isn't like they were just out of it.
I completely agree. They're finishing up, adjusting the rings to make sure it's at the right height. Of course, we had the 2 rings down for the muscle-ups, but now it's just that 1 ring, getting ready for that burpee to ring. Gave a lot of people trouble in the ringer points in the last match, some in the sprint relay. So we're going to see how they shake out here in this last race.
I think 2 of the elements I'm going to be looking for is going to be the triple unders and, of course, that burpee to ring. Those 2 elements right there, I have seen them kind of turn the tide in a lot of different matches. So if you have somebody that's very proficient at the triple unders, that is going to be great. Even though you're good during training, it's such a an easy movement to mess up. So if you mess that up, that can cause for the other side to catch up if they have somebody that's very proficient. And we already know about the burpee to rings.
Yeah, we know about those, Taylor. And it's interesting because triple unders is something that people sign players just specifically to do that movement. You can't single those. Like, oh, single triple under, step down, you know, keep on doing it. You really gotta get through that.
You can't. And I was up here watching Nate Cobb. He was up there again. He's been all over the grid, and I saw him practicing on the triple unders. So if he's going to be the guy in charge there, it just shows his versatility as an athlete.
That's right, because when he was first doing them, you were like, he's doing those? That's a big dude, right?
So when you have a unit like that, you can place them wherever you want. So he's a rookie. He's still learning the sport.
I think it's safe to say that we are blown away by his talent. And, of course, the Palms really having to make up a lot of time here with the breakers. If they get a win here, they just got to close that differential. They're already a losing team. They're about to lose their 2nd match of the season. It's really hard to come back from that. Brandon Shipper coming out for those suicide springs. That's a big dude. Haley coming out for that 2nd quadrant. It looks like everybody's opting to switch players. I really like that strategy. Every single time you're going to be adding a quadrant, who's going to be doing that sprint to the finish? Of course, it's track star Haley Billy Shelton. Amber Bose finishing it over there. Brett Henry started those snatches, but not quite. She had to run back to the start line.
Amber Bose, on the last one, they were supposed to run down to the finish and run back and then come back. They just ran.
It looks like everybody was a little bit confused about that, unfortunately. Brett Henry coming out for those snatches. Look at those muscle snatches from Jay Newell. Light work.
He's just getting a quick little workout in, a little shoulder raise.
Right, Alyssa Martinez coming out for that heavy snatch, easy. Woo! You love it when a girl touches that, last rep of that heavy snatch bar. That's a tough one.
165 pounds like it was nothing.
Speaking of, Alex Germain finishing those last 2 reps on the palm side. Meanwhile, Jonathan Restrepo is already starting these legless L-sit rope climbs for the breakers.
You'll see over here on the L-sit rope climbs, you have to start with the heels above the hips in order for it to count. And they just changed this rule where you have to have the hand touch the white line. Before, it went all the way up to the top of the pole and you couldn't lift and touch your feet. But now they changed that rule, so now your hand must touch the white line.
That white line, yeah. Daniel Lansake, he just kind of let himself fall on his butt before going back up that rope. I really like that. He didn't give himself any time to adjust, and he totally crushed that. And there goes our boy Nate Cobb. Those real fast triple unders. Corey Hendon doing great on the other side. We spoke about Corey Hendon's a rookie. Corey Hendon is doing a lot of work today. He was in over 7 races, I believe, and we spoke to them before. They're looking forward to him being, a big player for them. Vita Vetterkind already finished on that next element by the time that Sam Secord comes out to do it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and Corey is also somebody, again, that Bryleigh said was to be looking out for a Rookie of the Year candidate. So, unfortunately, the score doesn't really show how talented that he is, but he has been clutch for their team the entire day.
That's right. This is Dilly Fullwood's back. Those burpee to rings over here at Duke Cabral coming out for the palm side. That dude is really tall, probably the tallest in the league, but this is one of those elements. You'll see them kind of do all of them and then leave the last rep, for somebody else to do, but this is one that you really got to finish it out. You usually only have 1 or 2 people that can even do this element in the first place. I do it a little bit behind Dilly Fullwood here. Sabrina Cheney coming out for those handstand push-ups. A lot of those today. A lot of being upside down today.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that the Palms, that one little misstep at the very beginning with the sprint and the suicide, kind of put them behind. If it wasn't for that, I think this would have been a lot closer.
Yeah, it's a really hard one, especially if you don't have a Bryleigh Hansen here that can foresee all of those problems. That's when the other coaches are really going to have to step up. But they learn from their mistake, as we said in those last matches. You don't know what you don't know until you do it, right? Jay Newell coming out for that heavy barbell. Last few reps there. 1 rep remaining for Jay, and it is good. And he gets to do a little joggy jog to that start line. 4-point touch and a little stride to the finish line.
I know my guy is happy that he's not chasing after his wife, Shane.
That is awesome. Brandon Schipper closing it out for the Palms. Both of them finishing underneath the time cap. Really dominant showing from the Breakers. This is a different Breakers team than we've ever seen. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. In Breakers history, they have only beat the Venom. This is the first time that they're beating any team besides the Venom in their franchise history, Taylor.
You're right, and you were talking about how my team, we had our struggles. The Breakers were right behind us, but they have the whole mantra of the ones that stayed. Yep. And so they have something to prove. They got a chip on their shoulder, and they are coming not to just improve, but they're coming to try to win this whole thing.
It's really a Cinderella story from being one of the losingest teams in the league to now being one of the winningest, undefeated so far for the season. Amazing showing, and I have to say that I am so impressed by both of these teams. The Palms have something to prove in the next few matches.
Yes, I'm trying to see what's going. Oh, well, it looks like that they just threw a challenge flag. I don't know what's going on, if they're going to come back and try to look at something so they can re-race it. But I think right now they're just looking to try to get some extra points on there.
Yeah, not quite. I think we're looking at Nick Lavery talking. Let's go ahead and hear it.
Just what I like to be. Just while they're setting up for the next thing.
Friends, please be patient with us. We are so sorry about that. There is a challenge flag on the grid, and we are going to give you some more information in just a second. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. Thank you so much for your patience, friends, while we figured out what exactly was happening. Some nice words from Nick Lavery in the meantime. But what happened was the Palms set a challenge flag for the depth of Joshua Newell's depth on the clusters on the end, on that fourth bar. So the call stands. They lost their challenge flag, not that it matters because now the match is over, but that's what the call was in the meantime. But thank you so much for joining us. The score for the ending is going to be 15 breakers, 8 for the Palms, and it was an amazing match to watch.
This was a lot of fun, and especially the introduction of the new elements has. I'm interested to see how the rest of the matches go. So I think this is definitely going to change a lot of people's strategy moving forward.
Absolutely, Taylor. If I'm anybody watching this, competing in the next ones, I'm definitely taking some notes, hiring us for consultation. we have some thoughts over here.
The fees just went up.
Definitely a lot of fun, a lot of love at the end, a lot of camaraderie. But we are getting ready for that next race at 1:30. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications on so you can be notified anytime we go live. I'm Cassie Martinez.
And I am Taylor Stallings.
I'll see you at 1:30.
See you soon.